I'm going to bring on Viram.
So hi Corey, thanks for having me, and hi everyone. So yeah, Lendlord basically is an online platform. Our vision is to help landlords and property investors to run and grow their property business in one place. So it's a place to find new opportunities, to analyze the potential return, but also to manage your existing investments in one place. All the important details, important due dates, documents, tenants and tenancies, and leases, and of course the cash flow management. So you can track the performance of your properties over time. And for small landlords also, you can use it as an accounting software. We started in the UK. Actually, the first problem we identified was that very hard for property investors and landlords to understand their finance options. My co-founder is with background in finance. I'm coming from, my background is mainly in technology, also fintech. Then we thought, okay, technology can definitely help here. So we just need to analyze the data of the potential borrower, and then we can match the borrower with potential lenders. But what happened next is that when we developed the MVP, the first lean version of Lendlord, we needed to get the data. So we developed the page for uploading your portfolio, and then to add more details and more details. It's about the tenants and tenancies, about your cash flow. And then it became more like a data management platform for property investors and landlords. So it shifted a bit from the finance side. Although in the UK we provide finance to our users. In Canada, it's almost there. So hopefully in September we launch a partnership with a large lender, so it will be integrated to the platform, so you can also find your finance options. Currently, we have a partner for mortgages, and I will show it in a sec. Several months ago, we decided to go to the Canadian market. As you mentioned, Corey, like we actually adjusted the platform to the Canadian investors in terms of terminology, in terms of the rules of tax and mortgages, and we have already thousands of users in Canada.
Right. So if people want to use this, then yeah, I mean it's free, like you're saying. If they upgrade plan, it's $100 a year, right? Not $100 a month.
A year. Yeah.
Yeah. So guys, like if we look at this and we say, okay, we got one platform where we can store all of our documents that are attached to any specific property. We can help us to analyze those properties. We can actually kind of use it as a bit of an accounting software as well, because as Aviram is going to show us, there's ways to integrate that and even integrate your bank accounts. And so it's automatically going to pull the information every single month that comes through your statement and put it to the right properties. And you can start setting some of those rules within it. And so there's so many aspects of this program that for us as investors just makes our life simpler, makes our life easier, makes our life automated. And hey guys, if we can do this for $100 a year, programs out there could be 10, 20, 30 times more expensive than this, and not be as useful as you're going to see this really is. So why don't we get into it? And maybe if you want to just show us some of the abilities that are available within this program. And so just to clarify, for all of you watching, you are in Fearless right now if you're watching, or you're on our YouTube channel. And if you were watching right now, the link that is going to be shared with you to sign up for this program gives you 3 months access to the premium version for free. If you choose to just stay in the basic after that, you can stay in the basic. There's no charge for that. But if you want to access the premium features, then following that, it's less than $100 a year. Okay, as we've already talked about. So just to clarify that, and we will share the link in the chat. We already put it in the description of this event in our Facebook group, but we'll also share it in the chat so everybody has that ability to access that.
The platform is separated to 3 main sections: invest, manage, and finance. I will start with the manage side. So the manage, this is the place to manage your property details. The dashboard will provide you with a high-level overview about your portfolio. So you can see the current loan to value across all of your properties, how much equity you have, and some stats about your cash flow. You can see the due dates based on the data that you entered on My Portfolio, the status of your rent collection, the expenses breakdown, and some important charts about your growth of the portfolio over time. Then the main page on the management side is the My Portfolio page. And this is the place to store all the details of your property. Lendlord can support multi-owners. So in one account, you can actually manage more than one owner. So let's say that you have properties together with other partners, you can also add them to your account and then filter the data based on the owner and based on the ownership. If you have already a spreadsheet that you maintain, you can upload the spreadsheet. Just need to make sure that the titles are in the first row and the format is this. And then basically you will just need to map your fields to the platform fields and upload the entire data. Or you can just do one by click add property. And then you can see that each property has different sections. So the general section is to put the address of the property. And of course, if you have some notes, then the purchase details, what was the purchase price, what is your estimation about the current market value, the purchase date, the monthly rental income, property taxes, and then the ownership. In the ownership, you can decide, okay, so for instance, in this, I can say it's 50% Oliver and then 50% Liam. But of course, you can add as many owners as you want. Then you have the mortgage section. You can put the lender, start date, end date, the original mortgage balance, the current mortgage balance, and other important details. Enhanced property details to put more details about the property. You can manage the data and the details, the contact details of the utility suppliers, your insurance of the property. And something very important is the due date. So when I enter a date here, so any date that you enter will create a notification, a reminder by the platform for you before the due date, and you can control it from the settings page.
I think that is a really, really valuable tool is when you have, let's say, when your insurance is expiring or when your tenant lease is going to be up or all of these sorts of things, maybe your mortgage is up for renewal, all of these sorts of things that we need reminders. Hey, we got to deal with this ahead of time so that we're not dealing with it after the fact or missing this opportunity. And so one thing we didn't really talk about yet, and sorry for me cutting you off at this point, is the fact that this is all through an app as well. So you're showing us now the desktop version, but the app is virtually identical. And those notifications can not only come to us by email, but they can also come to us as notifications on our phone so that, we're not missing any of this stuff anymore. We don't have to remember to put it in our calendar, for example, because we're going to get a notification to our phone, which I think is extremely helpful.
Absolutely. So if you use our mobile apps, and it's available on Google Play and also on the Apple Store, then you will get push notifications when you have due dates, and you can control it from the settings page. If you go to the top right menu, click on settings, then you can click on email preferences, and then you can decide when you want to receive the due date notifications. It's 90, 60 days before, 30, 40, or 3 days before. So it's very valuable. Another trick for the due dates is to go to the dashboard. So after you enter all of your properties, go to the account completion widget and click on add missing due dates. Then you will receive this wizard. So it's a very easy way to enter all the due dates. So it will go property by property, and then you just need to put the due date. It will tell you which due date is missing. So I'm quite organized in this account. I have only one date, but it's very easy way to set up all the due dates.
Yeah.
So after I enter the property details, by the way, there are no mandatory fields. You can start just with address and few data points, and then you can tweak it afterwards.
That's really good to just mention, because one of the things when I look at this, let's say I have 100 properties. Well, now I'm thinking, it's going to take me a month to get all the information in there. But like you said, if we just started with entering the addresses, and then it's going to prompt us as to what information we can then fill from that point on, and start filling in some of those missing fields as time goes on, or maybe have somebody, an assistant or somebody that works with us, fill in those fields, whatever the case. How long would you say it's going to take to input the information for one property? How long would it take to complete that?
It really depends if you're organized. Like if you have all the due dates, all the data about the property, then it will take you a few minutes to enter all the data. But if you need now to gather everything, but it's important to do it, even if you need to invest now a few hours or even, I don't know, 2 days, depends on the size of your portfolio. So you have opportunity to manage everything in one place. It can be accessible from anywhere at any time. And then you just need to invest this time in the beginning and then starting this point just to update the data, and you will get alert to do it. Yeah, so it might take time to set up, and our team can also help you with that. So if you have spreadsheets, we can help you out to upload the spreadsheet. But then starting this point, you have everything in one place. So you just need to update it on an ongoing basis. The powerful of like the my portfolio page, I think, is the views. So you have the default views. The default views will contain all the fields that we thought are important for you to review. But you have other predefined views. For instance, the equity view is just the address, how much equity you have in this property, and the loan to value. And you can sort any column, so top to bottom or opposite. Then you have the performance view, which aligned with the cash flow management that I will show in a sec. So you can see the performance of the properties here. And then you have other views that you can define. So you can go to the manage views, click on add view, just name it, select the columns you want to include. You can also order by drag and drop and create your own view. You can also use the map view to see the properties on a Google map. It's like a different way to look at it. And also you can use the features of Google Map if you want to see the neighborhood and things like that. It's also very valuable to look at the Google Map, but also in the invest part, and we will touch it in a sec. And the other important thing on the map portfolio are the filters. So you can see a subset of your properties, so you can just select the properties you want to see. You have this drop down with the prospect properties. So prospect properties are the properties you analyze on the invest part. So you can, for instance, you can do like what if scenario. So let's say I own these 2 properties and I'm going to purchase this property. How my portfolio will look if I have now 3 properties. And also you can use it to compare 2 prospect properties. I will select 2 prospect, I will switch to the performance view, and then I can compare some of the metrics.
And so how many prospects can you have saved in there? Let's say I've looked at 25 properties. Can you have 25 prospects saved in there? Is there a limit?
Currently, there is no limit. You can manage unlimited prospect properties. Then you have the owners, so you can filter by owner. So I can see just the properties owned by Oliver. And if I want to see the percentage of Oliver, I just need to use this toggle. And then I can see how much equity based on the percentage of Oliver basically owned. Also, and then you have also the ownership. If it's private owned properties or company owned, and then you can also deep dive into the specific company. So you can manage more than one portfolio in one Lendlord account.
And that's what makes this very user friendly, because I found in a lot of these, it's you have some of these features, but you can't really individualize everything. And it's like in this here, you have the ability to say who are the owners, what percentage do they own, and all of that sort of stuff. We can use this, guys, for when we are reporting to our joint venture partners. Here's how your portfolio is performing at this particular point. Here's your portion of that portfolio and how it's performing. And so it just saves so much work once our properties are inputted here and we've put our values in. And you're going to show us more about the automations from our bank accounts and all that sort of stuff, so that this stays up to date. And we don't always have to be going in there and updating every single value. So
yeah, absolutely. And if you want to invite other partners to your account, just click on team members, invite team members, and then put the email address, and they will get invitation. But just a note, we don't have permissions yet. So if you invite someone to your Lendlord account, you will have permissions also to update the data. So make sure that you invite the right people to the account. But hopefully in the near future, we will also implement view only mode and perhaps also subset of data. All right, so the next page, Corey, is the My Tenants page, and this is the page to manage your tenants and lease agreements. And it's very similar. You click Add Tenant, you have different sections, Just need to add the name of the tenant. You can add some contact details. Then you need to attach it to a property. Find the tenancy period, the rent payment, schedule of the payment, when it starts, warning tenancy, if after the end of the tenancy you are going to keep the tenant, so it's also something that we support, and when you want to review the rent. And here again, you will receive a reminder. So let's say I want to review it annually, then I will receive a reminder before, based on the settings that you define, your preferences, to review the rent. You can also put some details about the security. And then when you create a tenant, then the platform will create a payment schedule for you with all the future payments. Perhaps we can do another webinar in the future. For that, we are going to launch a tenants app, so you can invite your tenant, and then you can share with your tenant the payment schedule and other important documents that you want to share, like a welcome pack, details about the properties, the tenancy agreement, etc.
Awesome.
Then after you add the tenant, all your tenants, this is the time to manage your cash flow. And the way to manage your cash flow, so on the profit and loss page, you can see the income and expenses over time. And of course, here you can use also all the filters that I showed you on my portfolio page. But the best place to manage all the transactions is from the transactions page. And here you can either add transaction manually, you can scan a receipt, and this is part of the premium plan. You can import a file with all of your income and expense transactions. But the best way that we recommend, this is part of the premium plan, is to link your bank account and then automate the entire application process to properties. I will show it in a QA environment on the UK version, but it's the same. So you click link account, and it's all very secured. We use Plaid as a regulated and trusted partner for open banking. You need to select your bank.
And just so everybody knows, he's showing the UK version now, but the same stuff shows up for us in Canada with Canadian banks. So
absolutely. I have only the test environment is available only for the UK version. Because of that, I'm showing it here. But it's the same process. So you just need to put your credentials. By the way, Lendlord has no access to your credentials. We just get a read-only feed to your transactions. And then click continue. So after you connect your bank account, you will start to receive the transactions every 24 hours. You can use this button to retrieve transactions. You just need to select the period that you want to retrieve transactions from. It's also a good way to manage some history. So let's say that you want to retrieve all the transactions from the last financial year. So you can do it as well. And then you will receive this wizard. So this wizard, you will go all the transactions. You just need to allocate the transactions to the property and to a category. So we have predefined categories, but you can edit the category, the name, the color, and you can add new categories as well.
So for example, and once you do this one time, so here, for example, you're adding an expense of Uber. So you define that, you attach that expense to a property. You say, okay, that's travel. Then every time an Uber comes in, would it automatically assign it to that property, or how does that exactly work?
Yes, so you need to assign it to a property.
Yeah.
And then the platform will ask you, is it a recurring transaction or it's a one-time transaction?
Okay.
And then based on that, the platform will know next time to allocate it to this property in this category. But of course that you can, if you're not happy, you can revert and allocate it to a different property or a different category. But the good thing, it will be automated. So you can see that you have one-time payment or recurring transaction. If I do recurring transaction, select something that doesn't matter, then the platform will remember that this transaction, based on similarity algorithm, with this amount, next time will be allocated to this property and this category.
Excellent. So that's perfect for mortgage expenses that are maybe the same every month, or rent coming in that's the same every month. All of those sorts of things, it's going to identify, okay, the rent was paid because this transaction with the same amount came in. And so now we don't have to be, right? We don't have to be doing this every single month.
Exactly. Yeah, I just needed to change the purchase price and the purchase date. Exactly. Now let's see if this example. So I received like a new income. It's a test environment of Plaid, so ignore the transaction name. Let's say it's a rent, okay, from a tenant, okay? It can be also, if you use a property manager, that you get just the net, you can split the transaction and then split the fee. But let's say that you get the rent from your tenant, then you need to select the property and then select the payment. So let's say this is this payment. I will categorize it as rent, and then I want it to be recurring. So next time the platform will allocate this transaction to this property and this tenant. I click allocate. Then on the transactions page, you will see it marked as green. And then on the profit and loss, you will see it here, okay? So you have a transaction in June. And then on the payment schedule page, you can see that this rent was paid. Paid early, okay? So basically you just need to link your account, allocate the first transactions, and then set up the rules. You can also set up the rules from this page, transactions rules. So you can see that one rule was created from what I did now. So this income, description, amount will be allocated to this property and this tenant.
That's amazing. Now, a couple of questions in our chat are, can you only link one bank account, or are you able to link more than one bank account?
You can link unlimited bank accounts.
Okay.
Premium version. If you have more than one bank account, yeah, definitely you can do it. And after you allocate all the transactions, you can also enjoy the reports page. So here you can find the P&L report. Yeah, so you have the P&L report, property breakdown report. So you can see for each property the breakdown of the income and the expenses per category. Then you have the expenses breakdown to see the breakdown of, based on category. The same for the income. And we have also a tax report, which is not fully aligned right now with Canada, but we are working on it.
Okay.
It will be soon. Of course, you can also generate it as a PDF and download it. And this is part of the premium plan. So if you want to generate reports. And the last thing I will show you on the managed side is the My Documents page. Also very valuable feature. It's part of the premium plan. So if you want to upload more than 5 documents, you need to use it. You need to upgrade to premium. Then you have different levels. So you can store documents on the common level, common files level. You can store any document you want, just name it, click upload document, and it will open your file system to upload the document that you want to attach and store. Then you have on the properties section, for each property, you have some predefined documents that we entered, but you can also upload any document that you want. And then you have also, for each owner, you can also store the documents that usually relevant for mortgage broker, lender, potential buyer, etc., and also for the company level. Then the nice thing with this feature is that you can share documents with others. So let's say that I want to share with a potential buyer. I just select the property I want to share, and then I select the documents that I want to share with him, and I click create package, and then the platform will create a report with the information I entered on my portfolio, some details about the tenants that are now in this property, and the documents that I decided to share. Then click on share package. Just need to put the email address. By the way, this is my email. You can send me emails if you want. And click share and decide the length of that the link will be available for this person. And then I will receive an email with this link, but not to your account. It will be, of course, a separate link that will be available for me. So also something that is very valuable to manage all of your documents in one place. So yeah, I think this is mainly the managed side. Of course, there are many other features, but I think in a high level. Let me know, Yukor, if we can now jump into the invest side and cover this as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody gets a good view here. Again, just an overall, all the numbers, guys, that have to do with your specific properties that are in your portfolio, all the documents attached to those properties. I know you showed us before, you can actually upload the pictures for those properties as well. That can be a part of those packages that we create. And so, guys, the whole point is everything to do with each property is tracked. We are able to analyze how our portfolio is performing. We're able to share this with others, potentially mortgage brokers, insurance agents, whoever we might need to share this information with. That's really easy to do. I find really, really valuable here is that how often we as real estate investors want to build credibility, show potential partners how organized and how efficient we run a business. That helps us raise capital. That helps us go out there and buy more properties when partners see that. And so if we can then share information straight from this, and show them how organized we are and how up to date our accounting is and our bookkeeping, all that sort of stuff, that all our documents, our due dates, our notifications are all organized properly. Guys, this helps us go out there and be able to raise capital. This helps us to get joint venture partners. So I think that's where it has a ton of value for us as real estate investors. We've only seen part of this program so far. So why don't you show us the deal analyzer side of things, and we'll have a look at that.
So if you want to grow your portfolio and you look on new opportunities, if you go to the invest part, the deal analyzer, we have two analyzers, one for rental properties and the other one for flip project. Hopefully we'll have a BRR, so like basically a mix of both. On the deal analyzer, you start with typing the address. Then you just need to enter two data items, the purchase price and the expected monthly rent. Okay, so once you do that, the platform will use its own defaults to generate the first year metrics and the long-term metrics. Now it's your chance to start tweaking the data. So we calculate the land transfer tax for you, but of course, if you think the number should be different, you can override it. Then you should add the closing costs. It's very important to know when you purchase a property, it's not just the purchase price. You have many other costs associated with the purchase. So you just need to fill them in. I will not do it now. And then if you're going to do some improvement to the property, you can enter the number here, or you can use our works plan generator, which is also part of the premium plan, which is very helpful for free projects, but also if you are going to do some refurbishment before you add the tenant to the property, you can use our works plan generator to create your schedule of works. This is the UK word for that, but basically all the items, the project, the costs, the start date and the end date, and then you can just go item by item and create your works plan, and the platform will take the total cost to the improvement cost and factor it in when it basically analyze the deal. So the summary will be the total purchase costs. Then you need to see, okay, so how much I need to put in deposit. So basically this will be the loan amount that I will receive. You can use our partnership with HomeWise, and this is what we have right now on the finance side, to see live products based on the details that you enter on my portfolio for mortgage lenders. Okay, and you can also apply online, but it will give you some indication about the current rates for mortgages. So you can also change.
And that, I remember you showed that before, and there was a whole list of different interest rates and that sort of thing. But that's because that's where you're clicking this now is based upon the details for this particular property, the location, the purchase price, all of that. Then that's, okay, this is the type of interest rate you can kind of expect to get.
Exactly, yes. So if you go directly to the mortgage search, so if you just reset all of this, then you should receive other, let's do it from here, 1 second.
There we go.
Yeah, so this is the list that you saw. So after you define your the mortgage details, you'll see how much you need to put in cash investment. You can also, if you can put more cash, you can put it here, and it will change the loan to value or the mortgage, so you can put less in terms of deposit. Property taxes, the monthly operating costs, are you going to use a property manager or not, and how much you're going to pay him, the landlord insurance, and some, I would usually put a buffer just in case, and those are like the monthly expenses. And then the last section will be the long-term assumptions for how many years you want to analyze this deal. Then what is your expectation for property appreciation over the next 17 years? Let's say it can be 5%, or it can be 4%, every number that you want to put, your rental appreciation as well, and the inflation. Remember, this is like an average for the next 17 years. This is the assumption that you put, and then you can see your long-term metrics. The important thing here is the IRR, which means the internal rate of return, which takes into account the cash flow, but also the property appreciation over the years. And also you can take off the occupancy rate. For instance, occupancy rate of 92% means that 1 month every year, the property will be with no tenant. If you are more positive, like depends on the area, you can put higher numbers, but you also need to take into account some vacancy. So yeah, so that's it. I think that in this case, the rental income is very low. So if I basically, in order to get a good cap rate and cash on cash, I need different ratio between the rental income, the purchase price, and then total purchase costs. By the way, we are doing some webinars from time on deal analysis, but you can use this tool because it's very strong to analyze any deal. Then you can go to the prospect report to get a summary of the deal. You can see also the development of your equity over the years and the development of your cash flow based on your assumptions. And you can generate a report, which is also part of the premium plan, with a design report, summary of the deal, so you can share with others. And soon, and we have it on the QA environment, we're going to introduce a button that will allow you to share the deal with others. So
Awesome.
basically, yeah, so you can share it with your partner, with your agent, with someone that you want to review. This guy will get an email to log into his Lendlord account or to create a Lendlord account to review the deal. So this is the deal analyzer. Flip analyzer is very similar, just for flip projects. So you should definitely use the works plan to create a works plan for this project. Based on that, it will define the improvement costs, and based on the sale price, you will see how much profit you will get. The loan usually when you do flip project will be short-term loan, so the interest rate is much higher than a mortgage usually. So you need to take it into account. And then based on the length of the project, you can see that the loan costs will increase and will take some of your profit. So the flip analyzer is also a great tool to analyze flip projects. And you can save all the deals, and then you can review the deals on my portfolio using the prospect dropdown. All right, and then you can also access it from here, or you can use the dropdown from the deal analyzer to see all of your properties and prospect and get back to a deal that you analyzed yesterday, for instance. Yes, so I think, Corey, this is it in a very high level. Finance side, so currently we have just the mortgage search. Soon we will provide our own product for short-term lending and mortgages. Should be launched in September. Yeah, so happy to answer any questions.
Perfect. I got a couple questions that have rolled in over the last little bit. One was going back, and I don't think we went over this, but one of the questions was, does it communicate with QuickBooks? And I know the answer for that is no at this point, but maybe you can show us who it does communicate with, and that's Xero, which is a similar type of product, I believe, to QuickBooks.
Right. So currently we have only Xero as an accounting software that you can integrate with, but you can integrate more than one organization. What will be integrated is the reconciled transactions. So basically we will retrieve the reconciled transaction every 24 hours. QuickBooks is actually on our roadmap, but I don't have like an actual timeline for that. We will definitely introduce it at some point in other accounting softwares.
Yeah. Amazing. One of the other questions here was the interest rates are for residential. And so I think that this is kind of focused more towards residential type investment properties. But if somebody's, let's say, buying a 20, 30, 40, 50 unit building, I know we kind of went through that a little bit in our session last week with our Ignited members as to how we would modify the use of this to multifamily, but it can be done. But and I think the answer to your question, I'm not sure who that is. I think it's Adele that is saying that. But the interest rates or the linking with potential lenders, that whole part is going to be improving, like you said, come September. There's going to be more options there.
Right. Yes. So hopefully we'll also support commercial funding. What you can do today is just to, so we use HomeWise, this is our partner for mortgages, and I believe that they also provide other type of product that you don't see here. So you can just start the process by clicking on this link and then start a discussion with them. But as you can see, it's not so strong right now because then you need to actually enter the details again. What we are planning to launch in September is that it will be fully, I will not say fully, it will be fully at some point, but it will be integrated with the lender. So basically, the data that you already entered, for instance, on the deal analyzer, will generate the specific terms for you, indicative terms. So you don't need to type everything from scratch. But yeah, I think that the finance side will evolve. Like this is the way that we did it in the UK. In the UK, we have various of products and many users use our finance options.
Yeah, amazing. And so just remember, guys, that this is, I mean, how long ago did you launch in Canada?
I would say like the end of 2022, we started.
Okay. So about 6 months or so, something like that, you launched this product in Canada. So guys, we're kind of getting to be able to use this product at its early stages. But I think from what I see, this is not a product at any stretch of the imagination at early stages. There's a ton of functionality here and ton of use for us as investors. And so the beauty is that, this isn't the finished product, and there's just more and more stuff that's going to be added to it. So if we spend the time to throw our properties in here, start using it on a regular basis, maybe link our bank accounts to it, that sort of stuff, and have these automations occurring, we can use this for potential partners showing certain portions of our portfolio. We will then have the lending abilities in the future. Guys, I think that this is very, very useful at the stage it's at right now. And that's why we, decided that Lendlord is somebody that we want to bring on, and we want to show you guys here in Fearless that this opportunity, you get 3 months for free of the premium plan. And then if you do choose to continue with the premium plan after that, it's only $100 a year. So this is not something that's expensive, and for the price, there's a ton of functionality here. So I think it's really cool what you guys have done, Aviram, and I think that this is a product that investors will love to use.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
There might be some listeners that already have an account, and I know that there is a coupon code that you have that they could use if they've already set up an account, so that they can get the 3 months for free of the premium.
Use this Investor Life as a coupon. So basically, when you upgrade from the settings page to the premium plan, you just need to click on add coupon, put this coupon, and then you will get the 90 days free trial.
So the coupon code is investor_life, and that would be your coupon code to get the 3 months premium plan for free, guys. So that's all you have to do is enter that in for existing users. Otherwise, use the link, guys, and set up your account and take it from there. Anything else you wanted to share or mention?
Perhaps just one last thing is like something that we send every week to our user base, but it's also available from the managed side, the interactive report, which is a great way to look at your portfolio in a high level.
Right.
You can see some high level metrics. You can see the top performing properties and the worst performing properties, some reminders, and all of your prospect properties. But the nice thing that you can go just property by property, and if you think that the value has changed during this week, let's change it here, so it will keep track the history of like the property appreciation. You can see also the performance of this property and how this property ranked if you compare it to other properties. And this is something that is very hard to do when you use just accounting software, because the nice thing with Lendlord, if you link your bank account, then you can allocate a transaction for each property, and it helps you also to assess the performance of the properties and then make decisions. Perhaps I need to sell this property, and perhaps I need to increase the rent. Perhaps I need to do something with my expenses, etc. So it's very valuable report. It's available from the managed side interactive report, but we also send an email out every week.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate you giving us this demo and allowing our Fearless members to have a 3-month premium trial, because I know that is not something that everybody gets. We appreciate you coming. I know it's late in the time zone that you are in right now, so we will let you 3 a.m. Yes. Well, there you go, guys. That's how committed Aviram is when it comes to showing his product. It's 3 a.m. where he is in the world, and he came on here just to share that with us. So lots of people saying thank you, great info, thank you very much. Looking forward to using it here within the chat. And so I know that there's a lot that will put this to good use. So we really appreciate it. Thanks again for coming on. And if we need anything, I know you were very open to hearing from the users. If there's suggestions or something that's missing or something that we need, you guys are very open to hearing that feedback.
Absolutely. So we have the chat box when you use the app, so you can write your feedback, report bugs. You can also schedule a demo to the chat, so you can schedule a demo with our team, and then you get like one-on-one session, answering your questions, showing you some features. And of course, if you have a suggestion for new features, we're happy to hear. And thanks for having me. It was like a real pleasure to present it, and hopefully you will find the platform valuable. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. And we will put this to good use. I'm going to tell you that right now. I will be, I've already inputted a couple properties, but I'm going to get on it and start throwing more in this program, because being able to analyze it and see my whole portfolio in one spot, have all the documents in one spot, I can't imagine it being much easier than that. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Corey. Thanks.
Okay. We'll talk soon.